We're faced with a global economic crisis that may be worse than the Great Depression due to this COVID-19 pandemic. This has led to job losses, difficulty in entering the job market, piling personal debt, and the inability to afford health insurance, among many other unfortunate financial circumstances. Feelings of stress, anxiety, failure, and isolation are rising and becoming more palpable and long-term for some people, resulting in symptoms characteristic of PTSD. So what exactly is PTSD? It stands for post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's a mental health condition that's triggered by a terrifying event, either experiencing it or witnessing it. So we often reserve the term trauma for a very specific set of circumstances that are often the most extreme and abhorrent we can fathom. Probably because we tend to hear these terms in war films or films about physical assault and sexual violence. However, this can lead to some people not recognizing trauma when they have it. Research psychologist and CEO of PsyML, Galen Bultwater, has shed light that PTSD can very well occur when we face financial-related stress. As a society, we tend to equate money with success, power, status, and security. We often define a person's value by their wealth. And so when we fall into this rabbit hole where we're less financially stable than those around us, we begin to perceive ourselves as less worthy relative to our peers. And there's so many unconscious ideas that we've conjured up as a society with our relationship to money that it only makes sense why financial PTSD is so pervasive yet largely unaddressed. So what is financial PTSD? It's characterized as a dysfunctional reaction to an abrupt financial loss or the chronic stress of having inadequate financial resources. Symptoms of financial trauma are similar to those who experience PTSD from other events, such as re-experiencing that traumatic event through flashbacks or nightmares, avoidance and emotional numbing, difficulty falling asleep, troubles with concentration, depression and hopelessness, as well as anger and irritability. Financial trauma is real, and it's often the string of events that follow that inability to pay which creates that trauma. The 4 Ds that lead to financial trauma are categorized by psychology today as debt, dependency, distrust, and denial. So let's put it into this scenario. Say you're spiraling into debt and you're going deeper into it. And so when someone calls you, it re-traumatizes you, making you feel vulnerable and anxious, knowing that someone out there, most likely a creditor, may want something that you owe, but you're unable to give back. And when you feel vulnerable, you reach out for support, right? Who can you seek help from? Who can I call on and trust? You call your stockbroker, a financial advisor, or every go-to person in finance that might have a solution for you. You start reading the news more for latest updates and find that the economy is constantly changing, which leads to this feeling that you can't depend on anyone because you don't know what's going on and you don't have things under control. And it pushes you to become more vulnerable to a point of irritability and fragility, which leads to that 4th D, denial. Right? I'd rather not think about it, right? Or I'll just deal with it later. And this happens because people's fear that they're going to be re-traumatized and fall apart, right? So the 4 Ds that cause financial PTSD have become so prevalent in today's modern world and more common, especially with the millennial generation. So what do we do about it? Getting professional help for financial PTSD symptoms is a good idea, but may not always be possible when health insurance doesn't cover that coverage. In the meantime, trying to rebuild a healthy relationship with money, once again by understanding and implementing core principles, such as reducing any credit card debt, managing and planning based on a budget to help you gain a sense of control and community on a daily basis. Overcoming that feeling of shame by starting to open up to friends and family for social support is a good idea, because bottling up your stress and concerns is only going to make your financial trauma worse, right? Not only is seeking social support a good stress relief, it can also put your troubles in perspective and may make you feel less isolated to find that many others are going through or have gone through similar financial hardships as you have. So on a larger scale, companies can also do their part to combat financial trauma because every employer wants a healthy and happy team. And financial PTSD and productivity share a critical relationship that contribute to the well-being of a company. So at Naluri, we include financial planners as part of our mental health program to coach our members to find an emotional and mental balance when it comes to finances. Our financial planners help to educate members to brush up their financial literacy and coach those in need. And so overall, we've seen some good feedback from our members who appreciate the calming value of having independent financial advisors easily accessible on the Naluri app. So with the world trying to tiptoe back its way to a stronger, more stable economy, financial PTSDs are a reality and they're not likely to disappear anytime soon. And although there's no one way of becoming financially healthy, find out what works best for you to regain your confidence with money, to achieve the life that you desire, but also for you to look out to a future without adding on to the load of your financial burdens. So as always, all the best, and let's keep things positively personal.